దానికి
క్లిక్ చేశాను.
ఓకే ఓకే కూడా ఇది 14 days ఉండిద్ది ఆ ట్రైల్. ఓకే
అది అయిపోయిన తర్వాత వేరే మెయిల్ ఐడి పెట్టి మనం చేసుకోవచ్చా?
చేసి
Okay. Yesterday we have discussed a glimpse of DWBA concepts. Now we are going to see in brief regarding the DWBA concepts. Mm,
ఓకే
okay. Okay, I will go through the PPT. Yesterday I didn't go through the PPT, right? Because if you have any doubts, you can raise now.
actually no, I don't have any doubt.
Okay, okay. If you don't have any doubts, means have you gone through the PPT or not? Because if you didn't through it, I will discuss it now.
Yeah, I have seen somewhat like
Yeah,
somewhat PPT.
yeah. Yesterday I have seen the PPT because many concepts like SCD means SCD is slowly changing dimension. Yesterday we discussed about the dimensions and fact tables, but we didn't discuss about the SCD types. SCD types is
Yes.
yeah, SCD types is important for the DWBA concepts. Okay, here in the
Mm.
PPT there is DWBA concepts, SCD types. So today we will discuss about the SCD types. SCD types is, as earlier I said, the DWBA concepts is similar for any ETL tool, irrespective of whether it is Informatica or any tool. The DWBA concepts is similar. The SCD types and all these are universal to any ETL tool. Okay. Here,
Okay.
hmm, here yesterday we discussed about the OLTP. Um, okay, here I want to maximize my screen. Go for slides. Mm, okay.
No, you have at the bottom. Right. Next one, I think. This one.
Okay. Um, Yesterday we discussed about regarding the OLTP. OLTP means yesterday what we discussed means OLTP means online transactional processing, where data is online data like daily transactions data. Mm, we will deal in the OLTP, where OLAP means where we store the historical data. Here the data is like mm, like whatever we enter, like it may be an it may be a data into the grocery shop, or it may be a data in the banking where the low level employee enters the data, like transferring fund like this from account X to Y, or it may be a update of any client information or update of any employee information, or mm, like this type of daily transactions we it comes to the in the OLTP systems. Okay, here the main purpose of transaction is to deal with day-to-day transactions of a company. It doesn't deal with a bulk data like quarterly data or yearly data in OLTPs. Okay, the best database for OLTP means OLTP is, as I said earlier, it is the Oracle. Okay, because in OLTP we maintain many constraints like the data should be all the columns should be dependent on the primary key, or the data should not be null, or we should have many normal forms, many constraints. Yesterday I have said one of the examples regarding the normal forms. Okay, like that we maintain many constraints and normalization. The data is in a normalized form in an OLTP, whereas in OLAP we don't maintain such type of normalization. In-depth normalization we don't maintain, because if you are maintaining a normalization, if you are maintaining a normalization, the main problem is to retrieve the data. We need to maintain many joins. Okay, to retrieve the data we need to maintain many joins. If there are many joins in a query, then the retrieval time will increase, the access time will be increased. We don't get the we cannot seek the data as fast as compared to a table, data in a single table. And if we have data in a multiple tables, we cannot access it in the same speed. Okay, are you understanding? If you have many joins,
Yeah.
if you have many tables, the access time will be more when compared to a single table. Since we have huge amount of
Okay.
data in OLAP, okay, it may take little bit higher time when compared to the in the OLAP we have a huge amount of data. If we have many joins, it may take more time, more access time. If we have many joins, so we don't go for deep normalization in OLAP. Okay, but when compared to the OLTP, we go for normalization because it has a small amount of data. Even if we go for normalization, it won't take much time. If you have any doubts, you can raise now.
No doubts.
Okay. Okay. Here, what is the purpose of data warehouse? Data warehouse is to store one centralized system where we can dump all the data at a single place. And here, um, to dump all the data in a single place, we need to have a common structure. Common structure means if we have in US, we will maintain the price column in dollars, whereas in India we will maintain the price column in rupees. Okay, we need to maintain one consistent system, whether it may be dollars or yuan or anything like that. If you are maintaining some data warehouse, because data warehouse means it is a collection of different types of data from different source systems. Okay, build a common data structure, build the metadata around it. The data should be compatible. Compatible means all the data should be in the same format. Okay, it should not be if you are storing like one data in dollars and one data in rupees and one data in yuan. If it is like that, if you are storing, then the data is incompatible. You need to make one single format to store all this data. Why we are maintaining all this data in the data warehouse? Finally, we need to generate the reports from this data where we are storing. Okay, that's the main importance of need of the data warehouse. And this report, based upon this reports, higher management will take a appropriate decision at the right time. Okay, that is the main purpose of the data warehouse, to improve the business. We are providing a certain data where it can be helpful for the growth of organization. As I said earlier, if we have, it is here in this slide, it is asking why a separate data warehouse. Yeah, we call it as a data mart. I will deal with the data mart and data warehouse in the further classes. Yeah. Here in the data warehouse, as I mentioned just now, we will store a standardized data, and it will be everything whatever we are getting from a entry level operator. We don't store everything, because whatever it is required, we will store those columns only in the data warehouse. Okay. Before entering into a data warehouse, we will clean the data. That means whatever the columns which are not required from OLTP, we don't store those things in OLAP. Whatever required, only those columns we will store into the OLAP, and that is data warehouse. And the data which we are storing is a standardized data. Mm, typically much bigger in some, yeah, the data which we are storing is bigger when compared to the transactional. We are storing the data in a day-to-day transaction basis, but here we are storing in a OLAP. We are storing data in quarters, half-yearly or yearly, or it may be 5 or 10 to based upon the requirement, we can store up to 5 to 10 years also. Yeah, the data warehouse is primarily for reporting and historical data purpose, historical data analysis. Well, when we analyze the data, if we have the historical data only, we can analyze the data. Without having the data, historical data, we cannot analyze the data now. Okay. Now, here in warehousing, we have the data of subject oriented and time oriented and non volatile. What is the subject oriented? Subject oriented means all the subjects, all the data which is related to one subject. Like if it is a financial data, we will store in one warehouse. Like if it is a logistic data, we will store in one warehouse. If it is a HR data, we will store in one data warehouse. And we may call it as a data mart. Okay, a subset of a data mart is a subset of data warehouse. Are you understanding? Suppose if I have like this. This is one warehouse where I have one another. This is one data mart. This is another data mart. This is another data mart. Data mart is a subset of data warehouse. It may be, suppose here, it may be finance. It may be logistics. It may be it related to HR data. Maybe related to sales data. Okay. Here it is. It is related to one department in an organization. In an organization, suppose if it is a Tata company, it may have number of different. It may goes to the different sectors. Like it may comes into steel, it comes into the IT sector. It may be a edible products, it may be anything like General Motors in US. General Motors have many things which it deals with. Okay, in the same way, if it has different sector, it will have the different data warehouses. Okay, the data warehouse for every organization, it will have different data marts. The combination of all these data marts will comes under the data warehouse. Have you got it? Or do I need to elaborate it more? Hello? Hello, are you
Yeah,
there?
I'm listening. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
have you got it or do I need to elaborate it more? Difference between data mart and data
Uh,
warehouse. When we maintain
yeah, I
different,
got it.
yeah, when we maintain different warehouses. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
When it comes, when we are dealing with the subject oriented means all the related data regarding one subject like finance, we will store in one data mart. Like if we want to, if it in the finance, if we have a huge amount of data, like in the finance, it may divide it into a different warehouse. Like when we can segregate into a different dimensional tables in a finance, then we can go for it as a separate data warehouse. If it has a huge amount of data, if it has a segregation of different things, then finance only we can go for a separate data warehouse. Okay, if it has a huge diversification of data. Yeah. Subject oriented means oriented to major subjects of the corporation that have been defined in the data model. For an insurance company, it may be customer, product, claim, or these are the different types of data marts you can build on. Okay, different subjects we call it as a subject oriented. Yeah, here integrated means here we receive the data from different source systems. Different source system I am meaning here, what I want to mean is it may be from DB2, it may be from Oracle, it may be from flat file. Flat file is normal Unix file or notepad. Okay, the data will comes from different source systems. All the data should be in a consistent manner. If suppose in one of the source system the name is of 200 characters, and in other source system the name is of only 20 characters. Okay, if you maintain a system like which can store only the 20 characters in the data warehouse, we cannot accommodate the 200 characters data. the data which is coming from different source system which has 200 characters, we cannot store the 200 characters in our target data warehouse system. Okay, so we need to maintain some consistency. Okay, these how to define those lengths and how to define which what are the different data types that need to be in the target system. It is taken care by data modelers. Okay, to maintain consistency, to maintain different types of data, all this and the relation between different entities, all this information will be taken care by data modelers. As earlier I said, the price should be constant if you are storing in a target database, even though if it is coming from different region, even though the data is heterogeneous data. Heterogeneous data means it is not a similar data, similar from same source system. That means from whether it is the same database or from it is not coming from the same database. Okay, that is called as heterogeneous data sources. It may be it may be DB2, it may be Oracle, it may be Teradata, or it may be from flat file systems. Okay, and then some data will come from a fixed length data, and some data will come from a delimited data. Okay, fixed length data and delimited data. Are you getting what I am saying? I will show you an example. You will get it. Mm, Okay. My source system, if it is my source system is like this, then it is called a fixed length data. How we read this data means based upon the number of characters we will read this data. Okay. Here the source system is like this where the data is of fixed length. The data may be like this where from my source system the data will comes like this. String of I have a delimiter employee name. This is called as delimited file. Okay. For the second type, this is the first type. This is the second type. Based upon the delimiter, I am segregating the columns. Okay, if I want to read the data from source system, we will deal more on this when we are coming to and we are working practically on ETL systems. Okay, have you got it? What I'm saying? EMP location. Let's see now of something slash and that means after that it is the end of file. EMP underscore home number. This is how we read the first type of file. This is how we read this file, second type file, because it is delimited with the at the rate. So we can segregate the data based upon this at the rate symbol. Okay. When we are moving data from different heterogeneous systems, we will make it as a homogeneous instead of heterogeneous of different data types of different variants and different variety of database. We will make into an one single common heterogeneous homogeneous data type when we are loading into the data warehouse. Okay. Yeah, here it is saying is um, when we are using the OLTP transactional data, it is accessed and manipulated and updated into the data in the operational environment. It can be updated and manipulated at many times, but here when it comes to the data warehouse, there is no deletion and the updation is not such frequent. It will be done, updates will be there, but it is not. We don't directly update the record which get inserted. I will let you know what we will do the soft update. If we directly doing the update on the record directly, then it is called the hard update. You will get to know what is soft update and what is hard update in the coming classes. Time variance means here if you maintain the data for a particular quarter based upon the timelines for a particular if you want to retrieve the data which have more sales on a particular quarter or particular half yearly, what the sales for which product the sales are maximum, we need to maintain the data based upon the timeline. It is called as the time variance. As I said earlier, a subset of data mart, a subset of a data warehouse that focuses on one or more specific subareas. As I said earlier, a data mart is a subset of data warehouse. It is related to a specific area like finance or some sales related data or or it may be related to accounts data. It is like that. And this is the difference between data warehouse and transactional data. We already discussed it. Stores historical data, stores transactional data that is current or very recent. Go through the slide. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Hello, Bono, are you there? Please give the confirmation if you have no doubts or if you have any doubts.